Awesome. Thanks, Kim. And thank you everyone for joining us here today. Just wanted to start off and do some quick introductions to SUNY's D2L team. Firstly, I'd like to start off and introduce Phil Voll. Phil is a senior solutions engineer at D2L and a product expert. Phil's going to be walking us through a demonstration of Brightspace today, and will be answering some of your questions. I'm also joined by two of my other colleagues, Brad Ketelars and Michael Beatty, who are also going to be helping answer some questions in the chat. And I'm Jake Heinfel, SUNY's D2L representative and primary contact. Kim, can I just ask you to click to the next slide, please? So I just wanted to quickly kind of introduce who D2L is in our platform, Brightspace. So D2L, formerly known as Desire to Learn, is our company. Brightspace is our learning management system, or the hub for the digital learning environment. D2L is a 22-year-old organization on a mission to transform the way the world learns. And in that time, we've partnered with 1,500 institutions supporting millions of students globally. Next slide, Kim. We often get the question, what makes Brightspace and the LMS unique? And so I just wanted to kind of summarize some of those things here today, but hopefully you'll be able to kind of get a little bit more from the demonstration. So firstly, Brightspace is the most accessible learning platform. We've won numerous awards for accessibility. Phil's also going to show you some of the really unique features that can be used in Brightspace to promote universal design for learning. Secondly, it's intuitive and easy to use, offering a very short learning curve for staff, students, and instructors. Thirdly, we offer a robust set of features that allow your faculty and instructors tools to enrich the learning experience and engage students in meaningful ways. Analytics. Brightspace offers rich dashboard visualizations to help understand at-risk students and intervene to ensure student success. And then lastly, partnership. D2L is here to be a true partner in education with the SUNY system, and look forward to working with all of you. So if we just go to the next slide, Kim. So we're going to be touching on a Brightspace from a demonstration from kind of the instructor or faculty perspective today. So some of the things that we're going to be covering are, firstly, we want to get you familiar with the system layout and design. We're going to be touching on the kind of grading experience from a faculty and instructor perspective and how you can personalize that feedback to your students. We're also going to be touching on, and I know there's lots of questions in the chat about this, migration, but also content authoring and accessibility. And then the last few items are going to be covering assessment creation, gradebook, and some of the analytic dashboards. But just before I pass things off to Phil, I'll mention that we've been working with Kim and Harry to get some of your questions in advance. And so we're going to be doing our best to cover some of those topics throughout the demonstration here today. So drum roll, I'm going to pass things over to Phil, and Phil's going to walk us through Brightspace.
Perfect. Thank you, Jake. And I will just request that I can have access to share my screen. Looks like I can. Perfect. Great. So I'm just going to pull up Brightspace here. Great. So as Jake mentioned today, what we'll primarily do is look at Brightspace at a higher level through the lens of an instructor view. As Jake also mentioned, we did receive lots of questions ahead of time. So I'm going to do my best to hit on a lot of the questions and answer those as we go through today's presentation. Please continue to add questions into that form that was shared a few times within the Zoom chat as well. Great, so we logged into Brightspace now, and I am an instructor, and this is the instructor view of the system. You can see Brightspace is currently generically branded with the D2L Brightspace colors and logos. You can certainly brand Brightspace as well to meet your institution's branding. Just a quick orientation to the system. I'll just quickly point out here that as a user in the system, you have access to all of your courses via the Select a Course dropdown, and you can pin your favorite or most frequently accessed courses. So it gives you a really easy way to organize your courses. Really quickly here, I'll also mention that if you click on your name in the system, as an instructor, you can role switch to a student view, and you can also adjust your profile, notification, and account settings. Now, when I log in, what you'll notice from the instructor's point of view, and it's the exact same for students as well, I can easily see all of the courses that I'm enrolled into, and this gives me easy access to all those courses. I can simply hover over a course image or tile, and I can click on it to launch into that particular course. Additionally, you'll notice that there is a widget on the right here called Quick Eval, and this is really designed to increase efficiencies in Brightspace for instructors. As an instructor, I can see every single assessment that I need to grade across all of the different courses that I'm teaching. So within a single click of logging in, I could click onto any of the activities here and jump into that grading view. In addition to the Quick Eval widget, there's also a dashboard at the system level, and that's actually what we're going to look at first here. So again, just with that concept of as an instructor, I'm logging into Brightspace, and the first thing I want to do as that instructor is grade student work. I can use that Quick Eval widget, or I can click on the navigation link, and this will pull up a dashboard for me. So we got a lot of feedback from clients that one of the major things they want instructors to be able to easily do quickly is assess student work across any course from a single location. So Quick Eval really acts as that grading hub. And as I can see, if I scroll down, all of my assessments I need to grade are organized by course. So here I can see some discussions and assignments that I need to grade in Business 101. Here are my Business 201 assessments and a sample course as well. So what I'm going to do is click in and grade a submission within this Poetry Slam assignment in my English class. And when I click on the new submission, I'm taken directly into the grading view within Brightspace. Now what you'll see here is on the left, about 3/4 or so of the screen, I can see the student submission, whereas on the right quarter or so, I have the ability to provide feedback in the form of a rubric, as well as text and audio feedback. Now, when the student submission opens up here on the left, what I can see is I can easily scroll down to see the submission. I can also go into a full screen mode, allowing me to immerse myself in that submission and really get a great view of what's been submitted. Brightspace does support annotations. So as an example, I can easily select text and highlight it or strike it out or underline it quite easily. And in addition to that freehand annotation, I also have the ability to add shapes, text boxes, and freehand drawing or highlighting, and then my personal favorite, sticky notes. So if I click on the notes option, I can see a variety of sticky notes that are available to me in the form of different icon shapes. Just as an example here, maybe there's a star point. I might add a star, and I'll just say star point. Can change the color of my star here as well. So it's very easy to add these annotations. And what's really powerful and great about this is as the student, as well as the instructor, I can print the original or annotated submission or download the original or annotated submission. So it's really easy to annotate in Brightspace. It's a great way to provide our students feedback, especially if you think about maybe a draft assignment where I want the student to submit again. I give that initial feedback, they can adjust it and then resubmit. Now, from an assessment standpoint, let's just say I added my annotations. I want to assess the student work here. What you'll notice is you have the ability to create and associate or align a rubric to the assessment. So in this case, if I like to assess via the rubric, you can see I just simply click through the different levels within each criteria to apply point values. Rubrics do auto save when we're grading, so it will auto save and auto update. And if you have two screens, you can actually pop open that rubric in a new browser tab and drag it to your other screen as well. So it's a really great experience when it comes to assessing that student work and using rubrics. Now the grade and the rubric feedback will automatically flow to the associated gradebook item within the course. In addition to the annotations though, I can also provide text-based feedback, just say great job. And I'm just going to turn off my webcam here. I also have the ability to associate feedback via uploading files from a computer, uploading files from Google Drive or OneDrive, and even adding links to web resources. In this case, I'm also going to record some video-based feedback. So just as an example, I might choose to record video. This is a really popular item and function in Brightspace. Lots of instructors love this. Great job, Jacob. You created an awesome moose poem. So I've just recorded a quick little video clip, and I'll call this Jacob's feedback. Now, Jake mentioned prior to the demonstration here that accessibility is something that Brightspace is really known for. And just as a quick example here, I just recorded a video clip, and I want to make sure that this video clip has captions. So what I'm going to do is specify the language I spoke, and I'm going to check off a box telling Brightspace to automatically generate captions based on the audio within this little video clip that I'm creating. So this really helps enhance the accessibility within the video clip that we've just added here. Keep in mind, the question I always get, can I edit my captions after I've recorded a video clip? And the answer is yes, so you definitely can do so. But as you can see here, it's really easy to add or create robust feedback in the form of text, audio, video, and even annotations on the student submission.
Phil, you're making lots of folks really happy in the chat here with the automated closed captions. I just want to see if you can touch on a few questions that were asked in the chat while we're on this page. One, we were talking about the annotations, and some folks had asked if that is accessible to students as well. I'm wondering if you can touch on that before I ask my next question.
Yeah, that's a great question. So the annotations actually are added at the bottom of the page as an enumerated comment. So for example, I added this little star here on the page. If a student was to print or download the PDF version of the document, you'll actually see a little annotated note at the bottom of the footer of the PDF saying, okay, this is note 1. It's essentially like a citation, and you'll see the comments within it. So yes, it is designed to be accessible.
Awesome. And then Phil, there's a couple of questions about rubrics. So one is, can the rubric be opened in a separate window as well as directly in this window if an individual doesn't have 2 monitors?
Yeah, great question. The answer is yes. So I can either expand the rubric directly in line, or I can use my little pop-out option here to open that rubric in a new browser window if I do have a second screen. And then I could just like drag and drop this to my second browser screen.
Awesome. Thanks, Phil. I'll let you continue on.
Great. Thank you, Jake. So as we can see here, we've provided some awesome annotations, some text and video-based feedback. I could publish the feedback and grade, which will instantly send the grade and feedback to the gradebook. Students will instantly get notified via push notifications. Or I could save as draft. And this is a popular option as well. I hear a ton of times from faculty that they want to grade all students for the particular assessment and then bulk publish the feedback. So you definitely can save as draft and then bulk publish that feedback as well. So back out to the QuickEval dashboard here, and that's just a super high level overview of QuickEval. It's a great grading experience and it's available throughout Brightspace. We'll head back to the system level homepage, and what we'll do now is navigate into a course. So I'm going to use my course tile here to jump into a sample course that has some student data. And what we'll see within the course itself is I have a list of the tools available on the navigation bar here, which can certainly be standardized from a design perspective. On the homepage of my course, I can see I've added an announcement welcoming students to week 3, and I can easily see any updates as well as the modules that I've created within my course. You'll notice here that this particular announcement actually says, Phil, welcome to week 3. This is a fun little function in Brightspace that we call replacement strings. As you'll notice, my name in the system is Phil. My username is Phil. And that name is being added to the announcement. So just as a quick example, just edit this particular announcement. One thing you can really do to really drive engagement and personalize the learning experience in Brightspace is add what we call a replacement string. So in this case, I can see the announcement headline is actually first name, welcome to week 3. So by virtue of adding that replacement string, my name is being added into the announcement. It's a really great way to personalize that learning experience. Now navigate into the content tool, which is where you'll see the modules that exist within your course. If you're starting from scratch, this is a completely blank course, let's say, you do have the ability to import a course package. I'll just touch on this at a very high level. This is something that definitely is supported during implementation, that migration, that is. But I will point out that when you have access to the sandbox, which will be coming shortly, if you'd like, you could simply choose to import your course package and just test it out. I highly recommend doing it. Just simply download your package from, let's say, Blackboard as an example, and then just drag and drop it into Brightspace, and that will import your Blackboard package. So definitely suggest testing it out. We've built some really robust, powerful migration tools for Blackboard as well as a variety of other learning management systems just to help ease that transition process. Now, when it comes to course design, in this case, you can see I have a week-based design, week 1, week 2, week 3. You can create courses as you see fit, whether it's a week-based design, more of a modular design or unit or topic-based design. And you can do really interesting things like assign dates to each module, so we have that nice week-based structure. Or if you'd like to do something a bit more self-paced or even adaptive, there's great flexibility in Brightspace to support essentially the pedagogical model that you like to apply to the course when you're building it. Just to touch on the authoring experience here, I'm going to create a new module in this course called Week 4 Fiction and hit enter. And what we can see here is just by virtue of typing the name of the module and hitting enter, I now have a module that's been created. And I'm going to drag and drop that up here so we have it following week 3. And on that note, drag and drop is fully supported in Brightspace. So just as an example, grab a few different files here, let's say a Word document and a PDF. I can bulk select, drag and drop content from my computer right into Brightspace, and I can see it instantly uploads those files. I can also drag and drop to reorder my content as well. So when you're authoring the course or teaching for that matter, you can simply drag and drop to your heart's content to move things around as needed. In addition to that drag and drop support to allow you to easily add files from your computer, you also have the ability to use the big blue button here called Upload or Create to author content in the system. You can see here I have the easy ability to create a file. So just as an example, I'm going to create a file. And when we create this file, I'll actually embed a video clip from YouTube, just as a quick example, to show what it looks like to add video from other sources. I saw that as a question that came through. So within this week 4 module, we will create a module introduction. So I'm going to call this the week 4 module introduction. One of the main differences when it comes to content authoring in Brightspace compared to other learning management systems is this concept of a document template. Document templates are essentially predefined page designs or styles that I simply apply to the content I'm authoring. And what's going to happen when I apply module introduction as an example is that predefined page layout is being applied to the page. Now this template is generically branded, so we can see there's a logo placeholder. We have different colors applied for the heading 1 and the heading 2. These particular templates can actually be edited by your institution to brand them, which is a really great way when we think about consistency in design to allow that branding to be consistent from content topic to content topic. As the instructor, if I'd like to edit this particular template for week 4, I simply select the text and I overwrite it. So call this the week 4 intro. I can select the text placeholder here again, and I'll just say, welcome to week 4. Please review this video and the learning objectives below. So what I'm going to do is actually insert some multimedia into the content we're authoring. And to do so, I'm going to use my Insert Stuff button. It's a uniquely named tool, but essentially what this allows me to do is insert and embed multimedia into Brightspace. And this tool is available throughout the platform. So as an example, I can insert a YouTube video, or I could record a video clip similar to what we did with the assignment feedback, or enter an embed code for that matter as well. So just as an example here, I'll just show the YouTube search engine. Again, we'll have that easy ability to search and add a video. And really quickly here, I'll actually just record another video note just because I think this is super useful. Open this up here. Welcome to week 4. Please review the below learning outcomes. Please let me know if you have any questions by posting in the discussion. So I easily just recorded a video clip. Again, I'm going to add my title and make this accessible. So let's call this the week 4 introduction. Specify that I spoke English and check off a box telling Brightspace to generate those captions. So again, that was a common question that came across, and just want to really reiterate that when you add these video clips, they are auto-captioned by Brightspace. So you can see here, it's very easy to record those video clips. See a little message saying your file is being transformed. We're just making that video accessible so it plays on all devices. We'll hit save and close here. Oh, actually, I'll hit save and close and just show what the content looks like. You can see this beautiful banner image. You can see we have the video clip in place. I got a little ahead of myself though. I do want to show some accessibility features when authoring content. So jump back in and edit that file. Jake mentioned that there's some really great accessibility features built into Brightspace, and In addition to these templates being designed to be mobile responsive and accessible, you also have the ability to essentially edit the templates to do things like change colors, yet we have these nice guardrails in Brightspace to ensure that you're still meeting those WCAG standards, just as an example. So here we'll select some text and we'll open up our color picker. What you'll notice when you go to change the color of text is that Brightspace is going to display a WCAG AA contrast ratio checker. You can see here that the current grayish color on a white background is accessible. If you just chose a weird color, let's just go with like super light gray on a white background, you can see we're indicating here that, hey, this is not accessible. We're not meeting those standards. So we're trying to add guardrails into Brightspace to really help you make informed decisions when it comes to things like changing colors to ensure that accessibility. Furthermore, there is a built-in accessibility checker as well. So just as an example, if I launch this accessibility checker, you can see, oh, it found an error. The banner image here does not have alt text. I can easily fix that by checking a box telling Brightspace that this is just a decorative banner image, or I could actually insert alt text directly in line and repair that particular issue. Now this is decorative, so I'll hit that button and hit repair. And I can see that the contrast ratio, we already fixed that, so ignore that. And now I can see we have no accessibility issues detected on this page. So again, we're really trying to build these guardrails or bumpers, if you will, into content authoring to ensure accessibility. So hit save and close. You can see we've just authored some content. Again, these templates are designed for mobile usage as well, whether you're using the Brightspace Pulse mobile app or whether you're just simply accessing Brightspace on your web browser. What we can see here, if I shrink my browser down, is that the content itself will automatically scale or change size based on the size of my screen. So again, we're really thinking about accessibility from the sense of, certainly color contrast as an example, but also from that mobile accessibility standpoint. I'll use my breadcrumbs to come back to week 4, which is the module that we're authoring here. And I'm going to drag and drop that intro to the top of the page. In addition to authoring content, we've also tried to create a really efficient process for you as an instructor to author assessments and add them into the modules. So instead of having to navigate to the quizzes tool or navigate to the assignments tool, I can simply choose my upload create button and I can choose to create a new quiz or new discussion or new assignment that I can add to the module, automatically link to the gradebook as well, and notify students instantly. So as an example, I will create a new assignment. And what we're going to see is that the assignment creation experience opens up. I'll name this the, what are we in, week 4, fiction assignment. So I'm just adding a name for this particular assignment. If I want this to be an assignment folder where we actually have an associated grade item, all I need to do is click in and apply a point value. So by virtue of me saying that this particular assignment should be worth 25 points, we can see that this will be automatically added into the gradebook. For those of you that have categories within your gradebook, where maybe we're organizing our grade items based on maybe the assessment type, for example, I can simply choose to edit this linkage and specify that I want this new grade item called week 4 fiction to be added into my assignments category. So very, very easily here, I'm specifying to Brightspace, yes, create a grade item and please put it in the assignments category. And just for the fun of it, we'll make this due tomorrow at midnight. Students don't need that much time to write a fiction assignment, I don't think. Please write something that is a fiction story. So we'll keep that super basic. Again, what you'll notice when I'm adding my instructions, similar to the assessment experience when you're grading students, what you'll notice is I have that call out to record audio or record video, in this case as instructions, or maybe attach instructions from OneDrive, Google Drive, or maybe my computer, just simply uploading maybe a template for this assignment. Another question that I saw within the sent over questions was related to file type restriction. Just as an example, I could restrict file types. So maybe for this particular assignment, I only want students submitting PDFs to me. I can easily apply that file type extension restriction, and that will tell Brightspace, hey, only accept files that are in PDF format. Super quickly here, we saw the ability to grade with rubrics. I also, as you'd expect, can create rubrics or even align rubrics to my assessment. So I'm just going to quickly grab maybe this Poetry Slam rubric and align it. And now I can grade with that rubric. So simply put, you can very easily create an assignment here just by filling out a few pieces of information on the left. And when I hit the save and close button, this is going to create that assignment folder. It's going to create the associated grade item. And because we made that due date tomorrow, being a mean instructor in this case, I'm being a little mean to my students, they're going to see and get that instant notification that yes, this assignment is actually in fact due tomorrow at midnight. Get writing. So we've created this assignment, and I'm just going to take a little bit of a transition here. We're going to jump to the Gradebook next. And I really want to show that flow of creating the assignment and have the grade item automatically created. So we're going to move now from the module we're developing into the Gradebook here. So jump into the Grades tool. Now within the Grades tool, there's a few different views. When we come to grades initially, we're landing in the Enter Grades view, which is our view as the instructor to see all the different grade items that we've essentially made available to our students. And I can see the grades that have currently been earned by those particular students. Now the Brightspace Gradebook is built to be sticky. So if I had maybe 50 or 60 students in my course, as I scroll down through the Gradebook, the student names and the grade item names will actually stick in place. So I can always see who I'm assessing for which grade item. Just as an example here, if I were to scroll horizontally, I can see that those student names stick in place. So I always know who I'm assessing per each grade item. From an assessment standpoint, we saw that quick eval experience at the beginning of the presentation, which you certainly can use to evaluate student submissions. If you'd like to grade from your gradebook, you can simply click on the icon to launch into that quick eval view in a new window. Or if you had a grade item that perhaps was not associated to a learning management system tool, so maybe it's like an in-class presentation, for example, I can actually choose to enter grades for that particular grade item. In-class presentation is a perfect example. And what you can see here is I can easily add in grade score. So I can maybe give CJ a 17. I might add some feedback for him. I'll just say again, great job. Can include text, audio, video, etc. in that feedback. And just as another example here, you can see that Michael has been exempt from this particular activity as well. So if a student was maybe sick for whatever reason, they couldn't attend this particular in-class presentation, you can always exempt them, and that will remove that grade from their final grade calculation. So we'll hit save and close, save those changes. You can see we just gave CJ a B+. From a grade scheme perspective, I'll just point that out as well. You certainly can have percentage-based grade items, letter-based grade items, point values displayed. So there's a lot of flexibility in your gradebook from a schema perspective, which you certainly can edit and adjust as you see fit. Now I'm going to transition to the manage grades area, and this is where we can see how the gradebook is configured. And this is where we'll actually see that grade item that we just created. As an example here, if I scroll down, I can see we have a few different gradebook categories created. So we've got quizzes, we have discussions, we have assignments. And if I scroll down here, we can see that for the assignments category, there is our week 4 fiction assignment. So that's the assignment that we actually created when we built that assignment folder. Now, if I look at the grade categories, you'll notice that we set the weight for the quizzes category to be 30% of the final grade. Discussions is 20% and assignments is 50%. Because I specified that week 4 fiction is worth 25 points, Brightspace is automatically doing the math for you to determine that, okay, week 4 fiction assignment, it is worth 17.6% of the assignments category. So as you add grade items into categories, Brightspace is going to do the math for you to determine what that's worth. You certainly can change it as well, though. So just as an example, maybe I want to drop the lowest grade score within a particular category. I can easily do so. All I need to do is edit that assignment category. And if I scroll down, I can adjust the distribution. So as an example, I might tell Brightspace, I want to drop the 2 lowest scores that are non-bonus grade items. Very easy to specify that particular action, and you just hit save and close. So you can see here, it's really easy to create a nice clean gradebook. You can create bonus grade items as well if you'd like to align some bonus assessments for your course quite easily here. Transitioning away from the gradebook overview, which hopefully really helped you understand how the gradebook works in Brightspace, just jump into one of our really popular tools, which is the class progress dashboard. The class progress dashboard is your course level analytics tool that allows you to understand quite easily how your students are performing within the course. Now, in this particular case, I can see we're reporting on 4 different key performance indicators. We're looking at content completion, quizzes, discussions, as well as grades. There are 10 different key performance indicators though. So if you wanted to change your dashboard as an instructor based on what you care about and what you want to report on, you can easily do so by coming to the settings area and changing any indicator. So for example, maybe I don't necessarily need to see quiz performance summary in my dashboard. I can choose my dropdown and I can replace the indicator with a different one. So maybe I'll go with like learning outcomes, for example. So I can add in that different indicator, hit save and close, and now we're editing our dashboard. From this particular bird's eye view, if you will, I can easily scroll down. I can hover over the indicators themselves to get more context. And you can see Michael here, he didn't do so on the first 3 grade items. He did a little bit better on the poem draft discussion, but then again, he dropped off on the poetry terms activity. So really easily here, I can see at this higher level, hey, Michael might be struggling a little bit in this particular course of mine. Maybe I need to intervene with him. Maybe I need to see if he needs some assistance. I can easily hover over his profile card and I can send him an email or even an instant message. And actually, this is a good call. This is one of those questions that came in as well. If you'd like to communicate with students, yes, email is an option. Instant messaging is also an option in Brightspace. But what you'll see here is I can easily just choose to email Michael. And this gives me this ability to simply provide some information, maybe reach out to see if he needs help. The subject line will automatically include the course name. And then I simply just type into the body. I can add attachments as well. So really easy to reach out and communicate with their students based on the data that we're seeing here at this higher level. Going beyond the higher level, I can also get a lot more specific, a lot more granular information just by simply clicking on the student's name. So for example, if I want to see how CJ is doing, I just click on CJ. This is going to take me directly into CJ's progress summary. And from this particular view, I can see all of the different key performance indicators that I can report on within this particular dashboard. By the way, students can have access to this view, which is a really great way to help students understand their performance within a course. A quick little side note, I took a course in Brightspace about a year ago. I was checking progress summary almost on a daily basis. And it's so silly to say, but it really helped me understand that, hey, if I actually study more, I'll do better in my grades. So you can definitely make that correlation just by checking out progress summary as a student. But again, as that instructor persona, I can now dive into that data. So for example, I can see for poetry terms, in this case, CJ got a 95%. I can hover over the grade item to really understand how he performed compared to his peers. So again, some really great information is available here to help me understand that grades performance. I can also dive in as well to any of the indicators. So for example, if I want to jump into content, I can look at this particular indicator. I can see high-level statistics regarding CJ's content progress within the course. And I can open up or expand any of the modules within this course to see per activity, what was the number of visits, or how many visits, I should say, did CJ interact with this particular piece of content? How much time in total did he spend viewing it? Did he download this piece of content? And when is that last visit date? So you can see we're getting this really granular, detailed information that can help me in that context of reaching out to students. So you have this beautiful dashboard, and now I can act upon the data or act upon the information we have by reaching out to the student via email. So it's a really powerful dashboard and definitely is a fan favorite of our client base. One final thing that I'll touch on today before I think we move into more of a Q&A style session is the ability to automate feedback. So in the sense of this dashboard, again, we're seeing this easy ability to reach out to students as you see fit. You know, I'm looking at the dashboard, I'm seeing, hey, a student is struggling. I'm going to reach out to them in the form of email. So I'm reacting based on the data I'm seeing. If you'd like to take more of a proactive stance, you can actually automate feedback through a tool that we call intelligent agents. So again, this is definitely a fan favorite of lots of our clients. Essentially what intelligent agents allow me to do is to create a personalized message that is automatically delivered to students who fulfill a set criteria. So essentially what we can see here is I've created a few different intelligent agent examples. We'll look at the first one here quickly, low score on a quiz. There's a quiz in my course called Poetry Terms. I have set up a condition where if a student gets less than 60% on this quiz, then an automated email message will be automatically delivered to that student. Now, I might say, hey, Jake, I see you got less than 60% on this quiz. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Keep up the good work. I know you can succeed in my course. So you can use these automated messages as a way to send this personalized message to reach out to see if he needs help, to see if maybe Jake needs to have some additional content released to him. So really great way to intervene, if you will, yet in an automated fashion. Another great thing to do is reach out to students who aren't logging into your course. So I've created another automated message where if students don't log into my course for 5 days, they're going to get a little nudge saying, hey, I see you haven't access to my course in 5 days. You know, you need to engage a little bit more frequently. Please log in. And one final example, this is probably my favorite. I've seen a few instructors do this, where if a student struggles on assignment 1, but then scores better on assignment 2, maybe assignment 1 they have 50%, assignment 2 they got 65. You know, from the student's perspective, might think, oh, damn, I'm not doing that well here. But you can actually create a positive reinforcement message where I can reach out to the student automatically saying, hey, I see that you improved week over week or assignment over assignment. You know, keep your head up, keep going. You're going to do well in this course. So again, really great way to automate that intervention through this tool called Intelligent Agents.
Awesome. Thanks, Phil. I'm going to give you a little breather here. I know we're going to kind of pass things back off to the folks at SUNY, but there was one question that came up a number of times in the chat, and I don't think we covered this. So I'm wondering if you can give the folks a bit of an overview. If there was an exam or some type of assessment where a student needed additional time or kind of multiples of that time for a time limit, how would we do that in Brightspace?
That's a great question. Essentially, what you can do is apply what we call a special access to an assessment, or you can add an accommodation. So I'm going to show this quickly in 2 different ways. If you know that a student always needs additional time on an assessment, I actually have the ability to add accommodations. So for example, for Marcus and for Yosha, I've added accommodations. We'll just do the same here for Andy. From the class list tool, I simply can choose to edit accommodations for Andy. And I can specify that, hey, for quiz-based assessments, I'd like to modify the time limit for Andy. And in doing so, I'm going to add a multiplier here. So Andy is going to get 1.5 times the amount of allotted time on a quiz-based assessment for every single quiz within my course. So this is one way to almost like globally set additional time for assessments at the course level. Just as another example, so that was touching on additional time for quizzes. If I jump into an assignment, for example, and we'll just edit this final group assignment here. I'm just going to click into this assignment and we're going to edit it. For an assignment, just as another example, I can expand my availability dates and conditions, and I can add what we call special access. So special access allows me to define a user or a set of users that should have additional time on an assessment. So for example, I will add some special access here for this particular assignment. And I'm going to say that instead of their due date being October 15th, which is already passed, I might push this out to November 5th. And now I can specify which student I'd like to align that special access to. So I could simply search for a particular user, or maybe I have sections in my course. Maybe I want to apply additional time for all students within section 2. I can just apply this filter and now say, okay, I want every student who's enrolled in section 2 to have that pushed off due date of November 5th. So we're applying the special access, in this case, to 4 different students at the same time. You can see now their due date is being pushed out. And when I hit save and close, I can see now right in line, Brightspace is calling out there are 4 users with special access. So we've added that additional time for section 2 of this course in this particular assignment.
Awesome. Thanks, Phil. I think somebody in the chat said that's a mic drop moment. So maybe we'll kind of pause there. But thanks again for kind of giving everyone a quick overview of Brightspace. This is just an initial overview, but lots of positive feedback in the chat here. I know some of the answers to the question were in the chat were, you know, not necessarily a yes. And one of the things that I kind of mentioned in my intro is that, you know, D2L is here to be a true partner of SUNY's. And one of the unique aspects about D2L is that we want to listen and we want to hear from all of you. And, you know, we're very proud to say that our online community, the Brightspace community, is very active. It also provides a channel for every single person to communicate back to our product development team. We're very proud to say that all of our monthly releases come from different feedback there. So we're always listening and appreciate all of your time here today.